Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CTV, Cable Channel 6 in St. Clair, as we welcome you to another rendition of Saints football here at newly renovated East China Stadium on Parents' Night as the Saints welcome in the Shoreans from Lakeshore High School. I'm Brad Robbins, along with Coach Denny White here this evening to bring you the action. It is Parents' Night, so before we kick the football off, we're going to give the mic up to the PA for the national anthem and the celebration of our parents. Okay, another wonderful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by certainly all the band members, directed by Mr. Micah Bowles. And a special thanks to Mike Schaefer for introducing and appreciating all of our parents. Coach White, we have a situation here where the Saints are coming in off of a tough loss, but going to start MAC Gold play, and really their home opener in the newly renovated East China Stadium. Looks great. Scoreboard's working. Let's hopefully we can put some points on it tonight early and often. The Saints played here last week, but it wasn't their game. The Mariners got the nod and the win and at the stadium, and tonight we're on the correct sideline with the shadows cast over top, and looking forward to an opportunity to play.
Well, I think this is a special game for St. Clair. That last week's game did not sit well with them, and this is an opportunity for them to put it all together, and from an emotional standpoint, it's a comeback.
Yeah, I think in talking with Coach Griffin a little bit today, I think what he wanted to emphasize to me the most was the amount of work that a lot of the kids put in during the off season, and unfortunately the way that the schedule kind of works out, you're kind of playing a buzzsaw. I think Marine City's got some state title aspirations. I really don't see them losing a game until like week 12. So you got a lot of experience, and now I think that might have been a good learning opportunity for our kids. You can't let them beat you twice, and you just come out here and do all the things that the summer prepared you for, and get it going and maybe build a little confidence. Last year was tough on the kids.
That's right. I think you have to take what you can from last week's game, learn from that, and apply it this week. And I know that they were talking about how hard they worked this week. So this is a good opportunity to make a comeback.
Yeah, and we said that you got two teams here tonight. Lakeshore, obviously, coming off of a loss to Ypsilanti Lincoln, the Rail Splitters, 51 points they gave up. So hopefully the Saints can get it going. Last week, the Saints were highlighted by the eldest brothers, Luke being the quarterback, led the way, about 85 yards rushing. We had the featured back, Ethan White, did a nice job in there and at safety. Logan Ellis with a kick return for a touchdown. And then Brendan Cole had 13 tackles and a pick. So those are some guys to kind of pinpoint tonight. But the Saints also have an injury bug with Jack Dolan that they're going to have to use a freshman to replace.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how well he does. But I think against Lakeshore, this is a good opportunity. If you're going to have a first game start as a freshman, this may be that game, certainly as opposed to last week or next week.
Yeah, and in that realm, I know, not quite the same thing, but certainly as impactful. You have Larry Warziniak's going to come in and fill Jack Dolan's shoes, which he's a freshman, Jack's a senior, and there's no real filling there. But similarly, you have Claire Freeland, who is charged with kicking for the Saints, and her sister Maya was kind of the one that was supposed to be doing that. Unfortunately had an Achilles injury. She was telling me that story last week, kind of a wild story. But now Claire's here, and she may be called on to make kicks this evening as well. So a good opportunity, but you kind of just gotta go into the fire and get it done.
Yeah, you have to just go. Don't overthink it. Just do it. You've been practicing. You've been training. Just do it.
Starters being announced. Mr. Headley sitting next to me, just showing me that video board with all the headshots. Maddox Moselle coming out, captain, 4-year player there. But yeah, looking forward to it. I think the results here, when we get everybody announced and get it rolling, results of the coin toss. St. Clair won the toss and deferred to the Shoreans, who then selected to receive the ball. So I believe the Saints will be kicking toward the south end zone, working from our left to right here as we begin. Reaching back in the history books a little bit, the Saints lead this series 5-4. Pretty competitive games throughout that time. Ebbs and flows. Lakeshore's got a few more kids than we do typically, but it's pretty close now. And then the first matchup was in 1994. I looked that up today because I was super bored and wanted to have something to talk about.
A little historical perspective.
There's no doubt about it. Your officials for tonight's game are Dan Westfall. He'll be your white hat official. He's going to be with Joe Magic, Dan Holbert, Greg Brown, and Ray Chandler. Certainly, if you're out there and you're thinking about how bad the officials are, they are always looking for people to sign up and do that job. I can tell you that the standard rate for a varsity game is about $72. So that sounds good to you. Go to mhsaa.com and get yourself registered.
That's always a great announcement. That's very true.
I've done that job. I enjoyed it to an extent, but then again, somebody offered me this job, so I took that instead. I guess I could be doing that. So it just goes to show you what it does for you.
Well, and the advantage of being a football official, if there is an advantage, is unlike basketball and baseball, you're further away from the fans. So they're less of a help.
There's no doubt that that's a plus. The other piece to it is, in football, you can always pick up a flag that you dropped on purpose. Right. When you wave off the flag, I mean, that's fine. Whoops, I didn't mean to, and you move on. That was always the luxury that some of my buddies who officiated had. So it does look like Claire Freeland is going to be doing the deep kicking honors. Back for the Shorians. Number 3, Trayshawn Sanders. And it looks like number 5, Justice Hudson Moore, are back deep. We are underway at East China Stadium for the Saints home opener. Short kick received by Exorian Simmons. Wrangled by a host of Saints somewhere near the 26-yard line, where the Shorians will take over 1st and 10.
The Saints kickoff defense got down there very quickly.
Good job. They stayed in their lanes. Did their job. That's something, too, coming off of a situation where they felt like they had to do a lot early last week. It's just getting people to understand that they just have to do your job, right? I think the New England Patriots had a little different version of that, but they won Super Bowls on that premise alone. Do your job. There's a couple extras there. Braylon Gaines will quarterback the Shorians. Looks more like the 28-yard line where they'll start their possession. I don't see this number, but it looks like a 60 in the backfield. Going to take the ball right up the A-gap there.
It is 60.
And with an apology to the Shorians, if you are tuning in, we don't have a number 60, so we might have to look into that.
Who's number 6? Who's number 60? John Bowl, number 60.
John Bowl, listed as 40 in our program. May have had an issue with a uniform pregame, so we'll work on that. John Bowl with the carry picks up a solid 3 for the Shorians. Going to have our first flag here for procedure on the Shorians to march back 5 yards.
That's one of the adjustments you hope they make after the first game, is you don't have those kind of penalties.
Yeah, the first couple of games, we haven't even started the school year yet, getting kids into the groove. I mean, I know it's not directly connected, but you see more procedural calls. You see some of those mental errors, and you hope by week 2 and 3 they shake themselves out. Obviously for the Shorians there, fell victim to one of their own. It's going to be 2nd and long. Gaines under center. Pitches it outside. That's Zorion Simmons, the senior, around the corner. Flag down. Gets out past the 40 to the 41. He's forced out of bounds by Owen Gazar.
I think this one's going to come back.
Looks like you're going to get a holding. It's in that area. Yeah, it's going to be that, judging by the body language from Justice Hudson Moore. Mental note, though, I mean, obviously the holding helps him break that contain. There's a reason that it was called, but got around there pretty quick, did Exorian Simmons.
He did, yes.
Something to take note of if you're the right side end, which is Kai Pennywell from where we sit. Got to keep that outside shoulder free. Number 2, Antonio Houston, split out wide for the Shorians on the near side. Hudson Moore gets the edge. Be forced out of bounds. Well short of the original line of scrimmage. Like Ethan White. It's going to bring up a long third down. You got to think passing down here if you're the Saints secondary. Brendan Cole's going to split wide. He's going to cover Antonio Houston. Tall, lanky senior on this side. Sidney Johnson on the far side. Gaines drops back. Takes a look. Looks like it's an incomplete pass. Great job. The Saints defense holds up. Force a likely punt situation here.
Nobody wide open on that. The Saints did an excellent job dropping back.
Kept people in front. It looked too, it looked like they knew where the sticks were.
Yep.
They didn't want anybody getting behind that. So even the pass that he did attempt, if he catches that, it looks like he was kind of cradled
short,
to them.
yep.
He was a couple yards short. Now in high school football, a couple yards short probably means that John Bull's going up the middle. But here we go. We'll get to see what kind of specialists the Shorians have here right away. So good job by the Saints holding up. Hudson Moore, kind of a do-it-all guy, punts it. It's going to bounce and take a Saints bounce backwards all the way to the good side of the field at the 41.5-yard line. And the Saints and Luke Ellis will come out and scrimmage from that spot, trying to start this game on the right foot.
Now, good job on defense, so let's take advantage of being on their side of the field and score right away.
Saints had some moments where they could really move the ball behind a really nice offensive line. Good size, strong, guys that worked in the weight room. And we'll see Ethan White in the backfield with Luke Ellis. He'll operate out of the shotgun. Saints going to throw right away, extended handoff. May have been backwards. No, they're going to call that incomplete.
Yep, probably should fall on that anyway.
It's one of those things you mentioned early in the season, making sure you're sharp. Kids sometimes forget that can look like a lateral. And even though I think the officials got that right, it's just as likely that they miss it. And you're somebody picks that up, goes the other way. Couldn't be a bad day.
And there's not going to be anything on the replay board.
No, I don't think we'll be throwing any challenge flags here. Brennan Cole split wide to the right, the bottom of your screen. Luke Ellis in the shotgun again. Logan Ellis goes in motion. Handoff is to White, left tackle, nice run. It's back up to the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up third and manageable for the Saints.
That's a quick hitter by Ethan. A nice hole over there.
Yeah, very nice job on the left side of the offensive line. We'll try to highlight that as much as we can. A little hard to figure out who is what. I know Case Peterson's at center. And it looks like Ryder Brooks was over there with Maddox Moselle on the left side. Ryder Brooks being the tight end on that one. Now he's out right. But a really nice job and a quick hit by Ethan. Picked up good yards. Logan Ellis up the middle, nothing home there. Number 78, James Brown.
Only a sophomore, but he is a big
He's a
fella.
big boy, yes. and he hit like it there. A lot of contact courage out of James Brown. Not just a dancer. So it's going to bring up fourth down for the Saints. They're up against it here with 4th and 5. Obviously on their side of the 50-yard line, they're going to be going for these all day. Kind of in that tweener spot if you're going to pass or run. The playbook's pretty open here. Brendan Cole at the bottom. Ellis communicating pre-snap. Sends his brother in motion with a little option play. Ellis has pitch man. Ethan White can't get a hold of it. Looks like he did corral it, but he's probably short here.
Looks like he is going to be a little short.
And you wonder, they're signaling first down from down here.
The fellow, okay.
I can see.
We'll take it.
Yeah, the official here at the bottom, if you can see at the bottom of your screen, is indicating a first down. And they're moving the sticks. You can see the Lakeshore coach making a case, and I think it's worth talking about if you're coaching. But we'll take it here, and probably fortunate with the ball falling on the turf. Ethan White picks it up and is able to get us a first down.
Got a
Chris
nice
Piperzak
bounce.
is the wide out on the far side. I was having a hard time seeing his number. Luke Ellis rolls out, finds number 1, George Zepp, the sophomore, over the middle, and that's going to be another Saints first down, an 11-yard pickup. Looks like George Zepp blew a tire on that. So he'll come off.
Nice route, nice quick pass.
I really like that, how Ellis, he rolled out opposite of his throwing hand, was able to square his shoulders. You see guys try to do that a lot and flare the ball out. He squared up. Looked a little bit like an infielder there, Coach White.
Yes, he did.
Saints will go again. It looks like we have a substitution issue. Oh, maybe an equipment issue? All right, maybe they went 2 for 1 on the substitutions for George Sepp. Unfortunately, we're going to have a substitution issue. There's too many men on the field for the Saints. Ryder Brooks comes off. So that'll march him back 5 yards, give him 1st and 15, 8:39 to play, first quarter. No score here at East China Stadium. This is the Saints for first possession. Forced a pseudo 3-and-out with a couple of penalties for the Shorians to begin on defense. Ethan White, same play as earlier that broke off for a chunk. Not quite as successful this time, running behind Maddox Moselle and Case Peterson.
As many points as Ypsilanti scored on Lakeshore last week, these guys get after it.
That's a formidable front.
Yes.
The Hudson Moore, as a linebacker, can move laterally. We saw him run the football on their first possession as well. So, yeah, good on Ypsilanti. The Rail Splitters can put up some points. Saints hustling to sub here as Owen Gazar heads off the field in a hurry. Ellis communicating pre-snap. Nobody in the backfield with him. Ethan White in motion. It's going to be a handoff to him. And he'll be dragged down by number 2, Antonio Houston. Nice little carry there, chunked into that penalty, but it's still going to be 3rd and 8. If you're the Saints, unless Clair Freeland is a surefire kicker and ready to roll, you're probably thinking you got 2 plays here to get your first down. Ethan White with a cutback here. Met again. Pretty good pop. That was Hudson Moore, I believe. I think that's a name we're going to say quite a bit.
I think so, definitely.
Yeah, he can move, super athletic, playing both sides of the ball, and he punts. So get used to hearing that name for the Shorians. Just a beautiful night for football. 68 degrees at kick, clear skies. Kids are going to see the 50s tonight. Nothing better. Getting into that late August, early September window. Last week was hot. Luke Ellis with the rollout. Ooh, he's got his brother at the 2. Did he stretch and make it? He did not. Foot was out of bounds. Going to be just out of bounds, but a first down and a nice connection. Ellis to Ellis.
Nice catch.
Get a little better look at that Saints offensive line as they kind of scrimmage right in front of us here. Peterson, Moselle, Pennywell, Brooks. Looks like Trevor Gregg. And I'm missing the guard. I'll get you. Looked like Larry Warzeniak was the guard I missed as they led the way for a Saints touchdown.
It was a nice athletic catch on that pass from Logan.
And we saw a little bit of his athleticism last week with that kick return, a big play to set up a Saints score. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Saints. Get a stop, turn it around, and then obviously punch one in behind that offensive line. And now Clair Freeland looking to put the finishing touches on the score. Kick is up. It's true. And the
Good
Saints
deal. There you
lead
go.
7-0. It's an excellent drive for the Saints, led by a couple of very important passes from Luke to Logan Ellis. They picked up a spot early. Actually, George Zepp caught the other one, and then Logan Ellis down by the goal line. And then the Saints are able to punch it in, make the extra point, and they'll be back on defense. Well, that should improve get the confidence going a little bit there. We talked about that at the beginning.
Just what you wanted to have happen.
Won the toss. Get the deferral. Go get a stop right away. Let's have that defense hold up on another stand here. Last time the kick went relatively short, but the Saints coverage team was good. So kind of have two ways to play it. If you can't kick it down to the goal line, but if you can get disciplined people to run lanes and keep them around the 30.
We got Ethan White going to kick this one.
Looks like we changed that up a little bit. It's going to be an onside kick. It's going to be covered up by Antonio Houston. So the Shorians are going to be the benefactors of that decision and be, it looks like, about the 49-yard line where they'll start their drive, their second drive of the day on offense. Might have been a way, if you are able to get him to bobble the ball and pick it up, you can really steal the momentum and try to go down and score with good field position again, but now the defense is going to have to hold up. Now, this is a first for me. On the last drive, John Bull was playing fullback, and at this particular time, he's playing left tackle. You don't see that often, only in high school sports, but it looks like Drew Petty is now in the backfield.
He's a short yardage back.
Going to be off the right edge. Hudson Moore. I think I had that mixed up before. The 25, Exorian Simmons, he's the do-it-all player. Hudson Moore, too, is the other athlete running the football for the Shorians here. Good pickup there. It's going to give the Shorians a 1st and 10. They're going to be at the 38-yard line. Maddox Moselle heads off the field and back onto the field for St. Clair. That twins to this side for Lakeshore. Right back up the middle, that's Drew Petty.
It's a difficult place to run against the Saints defense.
Yeah, doing a nice job right now, even when the big back, John Bull, was in there. They weren't giving up too much. It looks like the edges is where they're a little vulnerable with the speed of the Shorians and Hudson Moore or Simmons. We haven't seen the quarterback, Braylon Gaines, keep the ball yet, but he looks plenty capable. Brings up 2nd and 8, 6:01 to play in the first. There's Simmons. Nice job by Brendan Cole. Kept that outside shoulder free that time and brings him down for a small loss.
And Brendan had a big defensive game last week, and now you see why. He's a tough kid. He put on a lot of muscle this year. Spent a lot of time in the weight room.
Coach Griffin asked me to mention his nutrition plan. I think that's something they're razzing him about. But in all seriousness, he's done a good job of cutting out what's not good, and he was able to build that muscle. And he puts it on display right there, right? Doing two things at once, holding off a really nice-sized player here in Antonio Houston and then making that tackle on a good athlete in Exorian Simmons. Gaines take the snap under center, rolls right, looking to pass. He was looking at Sidney Johnson at first, but now Exorian Simmons was the target. Tough throwing over the head, pretty well covered.
I think he had him early on. He had him short, and then he didn't want that.
Safety over the top. Ethan White was with the original with Sidney Johnson. When he went over the top, he was guarded by George Zepp. It's going to bring up a 4th and 9 from the 37. Secondary doing a nice job so far. Don't want to let anybody behind you. Johnson outright. Houston down here at the bottom. Hudson Moore is the wing back here on this side. Petty in the backfield. Gaines drops back. Should have been a two-step. Now he's running. Ethan White stepping up. He's going to wrestle him down, but this is going to be close to a Shorian first down. Officials got the clock stopped. They're going to look this over. And it doesn't look like he's got it. So when it comes to the sticks today, that's twice the Saints have been a beneficiary of a close one. really quick. The Saints did a nice job of getting a lot of penetration early. It had Schweihofer chasing him. He wasn't going to catch him, but it flushed him to Ethan White, who was there just in time to keep Gaines from getting the first down, and the Saints hold up again on a short field and will take over. They got a little longer to go this time, but hopefully they can punch one in.
It's time to take advantage of the momentum they have now.
Playbook a little bit open, have some fun with it. 5:03 left in the first quarter. Ellis takes it. We've seen the option already once. Nice tackle there by Xorion Simmons for relatively no gains.
I don't want to keep repeating myself, but for big defensive linemen, they're pretty quick.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Up front, Bull, who obviously is athletic enough to carry the football for the Shorians, is playing out on the edge. Number 79, Devin Myricks, is a senior. You know, he's a load in there. I mean, we have some big offensive linemen ourselves, and he's dwarfing them right now. Logan Ellis going to have to make something out of nothing.
Yep.
Wrangled up in the backfield. Devin Davis was disruptive there. Read that right away. Now the Saints are going to have to be creative. Behind the sticks here, 3rd and 16 on their 22. Couple schools of thought here. Either obvious passing down or you just kind of run it, take your lumps, and play field position game. Saints have had some success throwing the football, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they give it a go. Saints split out. Twins at the bottom. Running dual go routes. Piper Zach below. We got a flag on the field. It's out of bounds. Anticipating a holding and a decline penalty. It'll bring us 4th and 16 here. And likely the punting unit. Something you may notice at home is the new scoreboard and speaker system gives the officials the opportunity to make verbal calls for our fans, which is an added benefit for even the officials, because it used to be that people didn't know the signals and you couldn't hear anything. So at least this way they can keep everybody on the same page. Logan Ellis got a little bit of an Australian style running punt. It's working though right now. Just an excellent job. It's going to roll all the way down to the 38.
Well done.
A little bit of that rollout spread punt you see in Aussie football.
And it comes off his left foot.
Worked just dandy. Rolled a long way. Probably got 14 yards to roll out of that and no return to boot. And that's a way to flip the field.
Is that the defensive right there?
I believe so.
Saints defense back on the field. Been pretty steady today so far. Watch those edges. Gaines under center. 3:26 left. 1st and 10 for the Shorians. They go dive here. Not much doing.
Nothing there.
Looks like coming up on the bottom of that pile is number 77, Trevor Gregg, junior defensive lineman. He was kind of in there plugging the gap. Drew Petty nowhere to go.
I think they ran that one just to try and keep us honest, but that's not going to get them anything.
No, it's going to put them in a difficult spot here. They're behind. They're off schedule, so 2nd and 9 from the 39. Midline again. This time I think Gaines kept that. Still not much going. Just a gain of a couple, so it's going to bring up 3rd and a good long 7th. Another passing situation. Saints seem to know where the sticks are on these downs, which is a sign of, again, building on the game awareness from one week to the next, being a little bit sharper. I got to think at some point they're going to test Brendan Cole with Houston here at the bottom. He's just a tall kid. Gaines dropping back, rolling right, but he's under pressure every time. And they're going to get it this time out in front. Sidney Johnson with the catch for about 13 yards.
And yet it was still good coverage.
Sometimes. Other players, they make a play here and there, you know, and pretty nice job. Good catch on the sideline, good footwork by Sidney Johnson, and a good throw by Gaines. Rolling to his right, under pressure right away, but he's, you know, getting outside of the pocket and able to make some things happen. 1st and 10 for the Shorians. Simmons in motion, kind of a fake pitch, and then give it back to Petty up the middle, so a counter. It's a little bit better because it wasn't straight dive for the Shorians. Might have opened it up just a little bit. So Petty on the carry, picks up a good 6 there. Caleb Ackett's made the tackle on that last play. Second down, time ticking away here in the first quarter, just a minute 30 left. Ball's on the 42 for the Shorians. Dive again for Petty. Ethan White meets him. It's going to be good enough for a first down. Would be about the 34-yard line. Looks about like an 8-yard carry for Petty. Case Peterson, the starting center, gets himself in there on defense, makes a stop. Obviously the best drive that the Shorians have had yet. They're moving the ball a little bit. Saints got to get a negative play. Big gap up left side. Gaines with a rollout. A little better contained. Good job staying off the quarterback. The pressure made him throw it way out of bounds. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
That was great pressure that time.
Great pressure.
He
and
had
then
no choice.
Licking your chops going right at the quarterback and had the maturity to not put him in the ground. So that's a big deal. You see a lot of kids just can't pass up that opportunity, and it ends up costing them yardage. A nice smart play on the outside there by the Saints. It looks like we may have an injury. So we've got an official's timeout on the field. I can't see 78. It looks like it's going to be James Brown, the sophomore, who we've mentioned is making an impact early. He had a big stop earlier on Logan Ellis, and now it looks like he's got something going on, and the helmet's off, and he's got some pain. So as they tend to him, we'll take a quick break in the action and plug some Saints athletics here for Mr. Rutledge and Mr. Miller. They said I had to, so for you watching at home, the volleyball program is obviously running our concession stand tonight, but they're starting up pretty soon. They had a tournament at home. Special thank you to coaches Michelle Ackett, Stephanie Short, and all the players and parents for doing all those things. Tom Brenner and Jessica McDonald and the boys and girls cross-country teams ran last weekend at Benzie Central. David Harris and Cole Cunningham both brought home medals for the Saints, so great job. Sue Likens and the swim and dive team took the girls swimming team to Marysville last week, so everything up and running at St. Clair High School, getting ready for students on Tuesday. Everybody back in the buildings and hopefully try to provide some normalcy at school. Back to the action here. James Brown is off the field for the injury, and the Shorians resume their drive. Petty on a dive play is going to bring up 3rd and long.
The hole opens up, but not for very long. It gets shut real quick.
Yeah, and with Brown out, and he's on that side of the line, you wonder, you know, as time goes on, we've talked about the size of the linemen for Lakeshore, and that can be good and bad because as the game goes on, if that size isn't well-conditioned size, things can start to slow down. I mean, there's certainly a lot of power there. But you just wonder if you can keep the pace up in the game. These longer drives may wear on them, and a lot of them are playing both ways. 3rd and 9. Gaines rolls right. Drew Schweifer fighting off the right edge. A little bit of pressure, long ball, pretty good throw, and a nice play. Ethan White back there to break it up.
Excellent defense by the defensive backs from St. Clair. They were all right there. It was another one of those odd ones you see in high school. There are two receivers side by side. A little easier to cover two of them with three guys.
And both defensive backs, to their credit,
Yep.
right where they needed to be with their guy. Didn't break their assignment, did their job. You see in high school when guys start to run, you have a tendency to creep up.
Yep.
And that actually beat them last week at one point. So nice to see everybody doing their job. Ethan White finishes it off. 4th down and long. Gaines drops back, rolling opposite hand. He's going to run it. And he's not going to get there. Team effort, but Maddox Moselle finishes the job. And unfortunately, it looks like Gaines may have been injured on the play. So we're going to have an official's timeout. Looks like he's favoring the lower body here. Trainers head out. Just 9 seconds left in the first quarter. And unfortunately, another injury, and this time to their quarterback. So early on here, Coach, we can kind of look at a good start for the Saints. Moved the ball on their first drive. Have stalled a little bit here and there, but the defense I'm most impressed with right now because they gave, the offense that good field position to go in and get that, and they've just held up. And I think there's some players on the Lakeshore offense that maybe they're making it look a little bit easier than it is right now to stop those guys. So
well,
doing a nice job.
I think that initially, like you had mentioned, that the outside was a spot that Lakeshore was going to attack, and St. Clair's made some adjustments to that.
Yeah, we saw that notably on they tried to run Xavier Simmons out this side coming toward us, and he wasn't able to get there because Brendan Cole did a really good job of fighting off of a really long receiver who was stalk blocking him, did a good job and kept him behind the sticks, and then the secondary's holding up at outside of one rollout play where the kid made a nice play, just doing a good job of getting off the field. We just saw it here, which is why the Saints are going to take the ball back over. But really it's the defense right now that's impressing me. And I don't know if we mentioned it, and we said, the Lakeshore gave up 51 points last week. Well, they scored 36.
They did.
So,
yes, they did.
So it's not like they played bad offensively. They gave up too many points, but that game, not having been there, seems like it was a little bit of a track meet, and right now the Saints are able to they're just being physical with the Shoreans. 9 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Saints take over. They really got it spread out here with an empty backfield, and Luke Ellis in the shotgun. Hopefully Braylon Gaines finds his legs over there and is able to come back into the football game as he comes off. Ethan White in motion, a really good pocket and a good throw and a holding penalty for sure as Brendan Cole used all that speed, got out ahead, and they're going to call holding on the defense here as that offensive line did an excellent job of giving Luke Ellis a clean pocket.
He had plenty of time, and what a great throw. Had the holding penalty not taken place, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, Brendan Cole ran a good route. They're going to call it pass interference, holding.
Yep.
But 15 yards and well earned because the offensive line gave time. Ellis threw a dime, and they had to hold, or that was going to be 6, as you said. Brendan Cole had him beat.
If you're a defensive back, that's a fair trade.
Actually, it's a smart play.
Yeah.
It's hard to sometimes accept that taking a penalty is good, but if you're toasted, it's 15 yards is better than 6 points. So, nonetheless, first down for the Saints. Nice play. Logan Ellis goes in motion. A little counter here. Ethan White off a right tackle, and that is going to end the first quarter, and it'll be Saints flipping the field, just trying to get across the 50. When we come back for the second quarter on CTV, I'm Brad Robbins. That's Denny White. We'll see you in just a little bit for the second quarter, Saints football.
I'm Dr. Lee Batcheldor, Chief Medical Officer for Ascension River District Hospital. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the hundreds of outstanding physicians, associates, and volunteers who provide personalized, compassionate, high-quality health care at our beautiful hospital on South River Road. We've been proudly serving this community for more than 50 years. Even more important, we plan to continue serving this community for a long time to come. Always remember that we are here when you need us, 24 hours a day, right here, right now, today, and in the future.
During the coronavirus pandemic we are currently living through, Ascension River District Hospital, our associates, and the Ascension, Michigan family in large are appreciative of the opportunity to sponsor our local sports teams and the live presentation of these events by CTV Cable Channel 6.
All right, we are back. Second quarter action from East China Stadium. Brad Robbins, Coach Denny White, and Saints football on a Thursday night. Saints with the football, having come off an Ethan White run on first down. They're going to go backwards on second down, but may benefit from a face mask penalty here. Drew Petty made the tackle, but the white hat, Dan Westfall, was right there and threw it right away. Looks like it's going to be a face mask penalty on the Shorians. Marching it off 15 yards.
That's one of those difficulties of being a big defensive lineman you're talking about. When you try to wrap the quarterback up and he's not very big, you're right around his head.
Yeah, and those face masks become very accessible.
Yep.
Not intentional, just against the rules. Ellis will run it again. Pretty good job there by the Shorians. That time it was Simmons on the tackle, just a couple of yards there for Luke Ellis. Saints trying to expose, or chip away at the middle of that Shorian defense. I don't know if I've seen James Brown come back in, but that could be a reason that they're going at that a little more. Mentioned that before about they got a lot of size in that interior line, but St. Clair really likes the depth and strength of their offensive line, and if they feel like they can just punch away at it, maybe as the game wears on in the second quarter, they'll fatigue them a little bit.
Well, I think that's what you had mentioned, that if Lakeshore doesn't do it in the beginning, they can wear down.
Little extended handoff there. We'll up the passing stats for Luke Ellis to get Ethan White out on the edge without having to run there. And a first down.
And that may have a tendency to loosen up some of those linebackers that are in there tight.
Yeah, if you can get Simmons out from that middle or Petty out from that middle and having to chase Ethan White around and then just let the offensive line work on those defensive linemen, that's a plus. Plenty of time there, looking over the top. That ball is caught. Logan Ellis, the brother connection there. It was hard to see from up here. If he held on, his body language was almost like he didn't, but just apparently he's just that smooth. And Logan Ellis on a great feed, another great ball by Luke Ellis over the top of the defender. Clean catch.
That was an excellent pass.
Fantastic. A lot of time again, right? He's able to set his feet and pick his spot. And that's going to put the Saints up 13-0 right away here in the second quarter. Great play. And Claire Freeland is on. Looking to tack one on. Kick is up. Working hard. Just over the crossbar. Doesn't matter by how far. Just
looks like it bounced off the concession stand.
It all looks like it went to the concession stand in the scorebook. But it's going to work. And you know what? 14-0 looks a lot better than 13-0. Great job.
It certainly does.
An excellent start to the second quarter for the Saints. Just what they wanted. They've kind of have right on time and right on schedule this entire game. They get the ball. The Shorians get the ball, get stopped, go right down and score with good field position. This time had to work through a quarter change and obviously benefited from a penalty again in that face mask to keep the drive going. But a great throw and catch by the Ellis brothers, and the Saints are on top early in the second quarter, 10:55 left till halftime.
The Ellis connection is hot tonight.
Yeah, that's twice. First time it put us at the 2 to punch in the first score, and that time they just finished the job themselves. Claire Freeland this time will kick instead of Ethan White. Throw it up a little bit deeper. Simmons can't hold on to it. He's going to jump down. He's going to be about the 34. So solid defensive spot to start in high school football. 34, 35-yard line. It's not too bad.
We'll see who the quarterback is.
Right, we had that injury last time. And it took him a little while, and he was pretty gingerly walking off. So we may have a change, and we'll see how that, has the Shorians adjust in terms of what they're able to run. This is only week 2, so all those things we said about not being sharp, that doesn't usually mean your backup quarterback is very sharp.
And not only could he pass, but he was pretty quick, too.
So we're going to make it confusing because I think now what we have is Xavier Simmons in the game, who's a freshman, and I'm going to guess is the brother of the person he pitched it to on the right side here, Exorian Simmons, who is making an impact all over the place.
Yes,
so
yes, he is.
I'm not surprised. It looks like Xavier is in now for the Shorians at quarterback. So off the left side, good 3 yards there for the Shorians. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. In case the folks are wondering at home who's got the silky voice on the PA here at East China Stadium, that's Ken Pillarge, doing just a great job. A little bit of a counter play wrapped up, read nicely. Just a whole bunch of Saints in there.
That's a defensive line they were talking about.
Hunter Richardson, I think, was the first kid there, but I saw Schweiffer and Trevor Gregg in there as well. And I think William Schroeder, the sophomore, was in there. William Schroeder, who Coach Schindler told me he just calls him Thor because he's got beautiful blonde hair. Nice tackle there by Willie Schroeder.
Dalton Kleeman also in part of that.
Dalton, the kid with good size. They like him. He projects well. He's got really good feet for a big guy. It's just kind of learning the game and growing that way. Looks a little bit like there's some confusion from the Shorians. 9:26 on the clock. 3rd and 11. It almost looks like an intentional delay of game. No urgency there from the Shorians to snap the ball.
No, and the quarterback had his back to the line.
And I could see, on the sideline, their coach, Will Puwalowski, was waiting for something, so he must have been content just to take the penalty and not use a timeout at this point. Cutting your losses in terms of we're already at 2nd and 16 and behind it with my freshman quarterback, and I'll see if I can save a timeout for later. Nonetheless, delay a game penalty, and it's 3rd and 16 to go from the 29. They're going to roll Simmons out. Freshman rolls the other way. Good pickup block there by the Shorians. But number 70, Carter Steyer, is going to wrestle down the freshman in the backfield, bringing up a long 4th down and a likely punting situation.
And that was a nice block because he was done.
We're already on our backup quarterback.
Right.
We probably haven't repped a 3rd stringer because Andrew Schweiffer was coming, and he was coming fast. And I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that before this night is over, he's going to get to a quarterback because he's been chasing it all night long. Looks like Logan Ellis is back deep. As we mentioned before, he did return a kick last week. He's got that beautiful touchdown catch, so impact player back there. It'll be interesting to see if the Shorians kick to him. Simmons with it. He's going to have a chance. One cut, gets upfield. Nice job wrapped up there by Justice Hudson Moore. Logan Ellis with about a 6-yard return. Saints again with good field position. They're going to start from about the 48-yard line. Now, if it's me, now all I have to do as a coach is avoid the temptation to just keep letting Luke Ellis throw the ball.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I was just going to say that.
You got to remember that there's a reason that worked so well, and it was because they started to make the vulnerable middle work. But, yeah, having seen that, your recency bias is it takes some discipline, but they do use the discipline here, and they give a run to number 42, Connor Shirkey, sophomore, I believe.
We got a flag here.
Saints are going to get popped with the holding here, so that's going to come back. So this will be the first time the Saints have really seen a significant setback penalty-wise for starting a drive. The Shorians have had it a few times. Saints are going to be 1st and 19 from the 39. 14-0 Saints. 8:17 to play. Second quarter.
Oops.
And now they're piling on.
Yeah.
Pre-snap, or
Yep.
now a pre-snap penalty. We mentioned how good the passing game has been. Maybe they're just trying to set it up so that they have to do it. It's still first down. And
Timeout, St. Clair.
Saints want to talk about it. Sometimes you see that you get a holding and then a pre-snap penalty, and you're just coming off of some momentum. Coach Bishop wants to take a timeout and talk about it.
Well, and you had mentioned, I think the penalties have impacted Lakeshore significantly.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some good plays that they didn't get to see through because of penalties. That play on the outside where Simmons kind of broke away, that's a drive starter, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. And then defensively, the face mask sets up the Saints' second touchdown of the day. So got to take a good job by the Saints in taking advantage of all those situations. But if you're the Shorians, try to avoid those problems so that you're right in the football game. Saints come out of the timeout, ready to go, no huddle needed. Break right from there. And a couple of substitutes. See Connor Shirkey back there who got a carry just a moment ago. Ellis is going to roll right. And it looks like the Saints started early again, so we got a little Murphy's Law going in this drive.
Yeah.
The Saints going to march it back 5 more yards. No huddle again. Probably just said go run the play I said to run.
The one we've been trying to
roll
run.
him again. Yep, same thing. Brennan Cole with a double move over the top.
There he
Has
is.
him beat. Ball's a little short, but he's going to catch it anyhow.
Yep.
And,
Way to come back for the ball.
and again, Brennan Cole beats his guy. Last time he did, pass interference penalty. This time makes a great adjustment, comes back to the football, catches it. 1st and 29. Why not 1st and 35?
Sure,
First down
may
for
as
the
well.
Saints either way. I don't have any official numbers right in front of me, but Luke Ellis is now starting to put up some numbers through the air. That might actually open things up for interior runs. Ethan White, Connor Shirkey may be benefiting from that very soon. It's Hagen Dalmagalski at the bottom of your screen, split wide. Shirkey with a sweep. Hudson Moore on the tackle. A couple injured Shorians. Looks like they're going to stick it out.
John Bull.
Yeah, look there, like John Bull was coming up just a little bit lame on that play, along with Devin Merrick's, number 79. Shirkey in motion. It's going to be an Ellis run up the middle. Nice spin move across the 20-yard line into the red zone, down to the 17 for Luke Ellis, and that'll move the sticks again.
If you can get the passing game to work, and then a little bit of let's go around the end, then that opens that up for Luke right in the middle, because you can't. The Lions linebackers, they're good, but they can't be everywhere.
No, and as soon as he steps back, like he's potentially going to square his shoulders and throw, and that's a designed run. That's not a pass play, but it looks deceptive, and he takes off. And Luke's plenty of good athlete. Brother Logan in motion, counter play to Shirkey. Nice run up the middle again. Stopped there by Hudson Moore. But again, another chunk play on first down. 5 yards. Offensive line starting to wear on that Shorian front a little bit right now. Saints will play from the 12. 6:28 left in the second quarter. leading 14-0. Ellis takes the snap, pulls the ball on the option play, and will scamper in for the 12-yard touchdown.
What a great decision.
Luke
what
Ellis.
a great decision.
He made the right read, pulled the ball, and took it himself, and he's having himself a day here as the Saints go to 20-0.
Yep.
So a drive that kind of showed some adversity to the Saints with, 4 consecutive penalties to start it. The seniors take hold, make a big play, get them right back on track, and then the senior finishes it off with a touchdown run, and we bring on the sophomore kicker, Clair Freeland. Snap's good, kicks a little better. That thing is good again, so she's 3 for 3, ho-hum, and it is 21-0 Saints.
And that's a perfect example of a smart quarterback who simply knows what's going on. Had he handed that ball off, that would have gone nowhere.
Would have been a negative play, right? And then you're
Yep.
losing the momentum that you worked so hard to get back. But he makes the right read, a good disciplined read off the end, takes advantage of what's difficult to do. I'm not dogging the end from Lakeshore, but there's somebody there that missed an assignment because somebody has Ellis. But when you overcommit to one thing, you ride that mesh, you pull it away, and then 12-yard scamper. I don't know that he got touched, honestly. So it looked like a potential negative play, and then it was smooth sailing.
Well, and I think you said at the beginning of the game, do your job. And when you get excited and do something else, sometimes not good things happen to your defense.
And that's likely what happened to the Shorians there. Felt like they had to go and make something happen and forgot to do the assignment on the quarterback. And he goes for the touchdown. Great job by the Saints. I think it's Ethan White again, so they're alternating kickoffs. Last time he did an onside. This time he does it again, and it's going to work.
There's the ball.
We have a procedure penalty. I think the Saints got a little excited. Unfortunately, that I think was going to work.
Yeah. Oops.
Let's see how the Saints handle it from here. It looks like Clair Freeland is going back out. Now, I don't want to reveal too much. However, if the scouting report's going to read that when 30's in, they kick it deep, and when 23 comes in,
yes.
So you could be setting up something for the long term.
Yes.
Thinking, right? Okay. Because at some point, Ethan White's going to have to kick it.
He's going to have to kick. Yes. Yes.
You know, with electronic huddle and everybody sharing film, that's going to jump out. You know, I'm not worried about our broadcast being too revealing. But Clair Freeland's back in with the 5-yard penalty. She's mostly kicked it deep. I think Simmons has been the guy to catch him, and he's not going to this time. It's going to be Hudson Moore, and going to be wrapped up immediately by a host of Saints. Carson Landshut among them as one of the premier tacklers, along with Hagen Domagalski on special teams.
Chris Piperzak also.
Number 4, that's correct. He's been split out quite a bit. Chris Piperzak's run a few good routes. Hard to argue with any of the decision-making that Luke Ellis has had, but you know, he's definitely been open a couple times, so we got options.
Well, the important part with that is, and Chris will certainly do it, you have, even though you don't get the ball, you have to keep running your route.
Again, going back to that do your job, you know, having a role in running that route and being disciplined enough to do it, even though you may not get the ball, is going to open something up for someone else. And I think Logan Ellis can probably attest to that helping him out today.
I think so.
Does look like the Shorians have decided to call a timeout. Sun going down here at East China Stadium. Lights are glaring. Band's playing. Fans in the stands. It's kind of nice. Feels like high school football is supposed to. A little bit of Americana here in East China, Michigan.
Fans in the stands, you have the concession stand open, and you have the new scoreboard that's entertaining.
There's no doubt. We're still working out all the features. I've seen headshots. Mr. Headley's working music and graphics. Looks wonderful. If you haven't been able to make it down to, obviously this being the Saints' first game, but if you weren't here for the St. Clair Marine City game, get on out here. Lots going on. And if you are coming to a game, it's worth noting that we do use all digital ticketing now. So the GoFan app is for you to download. There's links on schools' websites to go in and make sure if that makes you nervous when I say digital ticketing, it's not so bad. My father-in-law can pull it off. Anybody can do it. He's a smartphone resistor, and he got it done, and we'll help you if you can't get it. So come on out, use GoFan, and watch the Saints play. Xavier Simmons on the outside. There's that edge. Ethan White holds on. Going to limit the gain. Ethan White's been pretty active defensively. I know he's somebody we call a lot in the backfield, but Connor Shirkey's come in to spell him offensively, and Ethan White's being very active at the back end of that Saints defense at safety. Pick up a long 3 there, so second down at 7. I believe it's still the freshman Simmons in at quarterback for the Shorians after Braylon Gaines is still working out some issues. I don't see a penalty flag, and that's a fumbled snap. The only person that went was the center.
Yep.
And the Saints
get
hop
the ball
on
back.
it. Good fortune there for the Saints, and they're going to take over at the 43-yard line. Just one of those situations where the center had a different snap count than was relayed in the huddle. He snapped it. That's what makes everybody go, and he was the only one moving. Saints defensive line right on it. And a sudden change possession here. Let's see if the Saints can take advantage. Ellis in the shotgun, drops back, going to the air again. Steps up, fires a bullet. It's going to be a gain of about 14 yards. Number 9, Brennan Cole, who caught the long pass on 1st and 29 last drive, takes one right on the numbers.
Great vision and a nice snap pass. There's a lot of bodies in there.
Stepped right up in the pocket, got all the body behind the throw, and the Saints are in business again here with 5 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 28. Ellis again drops back, this time under a little bit of pressure. Steps up, going to keep it. That's a new name for the Shorians. That's Trayshawn Sanders on the tackle. Saints have a little rhythm going. They've got a little bit of tempo, and they seem to be content with going to the air. Second down. Even though it looked like a busted play and Ellis was under duress, still able to pick up 6 yards on 1st down. That's plenty good. Saints break the huddle. Shirkey and Gazar with Logan Ellis. Kind of a full house in the shotgun backfield here. Hagen Domagowski split at the bottom. Option play. Pitch to Logan Ellis. Not much doing there. Better job of doing their job by the Shorians that time and Sidney Johnson.
Yeah, I thought they stopped the outside, so he had to go inside where there were bodies in there.
No gain or a slight loss for the Saints. 3rd down. Maybe about 4 to go. 4 minutes left in the first half. Saints playing pretty clean here. Logan Ellis, quick hitter.
Boom.
Off left tackle, going to be a 1st down. Saints offensive line on that side led by Maddox Moselle, just moving people right now.
Timeout.
Timeout on the field by the Shorians.
Yep.
They want to talk it over or give some of those defensive linemen a rest. I mean, in terms of time of possession, the Saints are now holding a pretty heavy advantage.
I think I would lean towards giving them a rest. They're going, the majority of them are going both ways.
Yeah, the interior line, you see a lot of common numbers there, and they've already had a couple of injuries. So no surprise that at this point, maybe that's why earlier when we saw them take the intentional delay of game, they were content to take that instead of using their timeout. And you see that now. They're saving them for later in the half. This is a big spot for the Shorians. A score for the Saints. You start talking about the route being on here, and you want to avoid that at all costs. You get a stop, however, and you can take some of that momentum potentially with you into the half.
Well, and particularly when you add in they don't have their starting quarterback available right now.
and if I can see him on the far side, you may not be able to see it on the telecast here, but he's trying to work his way into it. But as I look over, I see number 60, John, what was it, Bone?
Well, yep.
John Bowl, and their quarterback, which was Braylon Gaines. They're both over there trying to work out an injury, along with number 78, who was James Brown. So all those guys that were making a big impact early, are on the mend. Connor Shirkey kind of had something there, but a pretty good job by number 55, Ethan Piles.
Close that down.
Yeah, it was just one-on-one.
Yep.
Shirkey, he made a stop, because I don't think if Piles makes that stop, I think Shirkey's going to score.
Yeah, the advantage of being up here is you can see when those holes are there and when there's one guy between you and the goal line.
Yeah, on the field it looks different. At field level. Be second down and 8. Saints at the 13-yard line. Ellis directs Shirkey over left side. Logan Ellis at the bottom of your screen. Brennan Cole, big plays at the top. Ellis going to keep this one. Designed run. Goes left side. Nothing there. Good job, Shorians. Antonio Houston kept contained, everything inside, and makes the play. Big loss there for the Saints. So the design run doesn't go. Good discipline by the Shorians that time. Going to bring up 3rd and long. And I see Brennan Cole coming off the field on 3rd and long, so that gives you one less weapon on the perimeter. Saints been doing a good job getting chunks on the ground, however, so if you're here and you're thinking that this is 4-down territory, the playbook's open. Some of those extended handoffs have worked. Ellis going to roll right, being patient. Good throw. Did he hold on to that? We got a touchdown. Logan Ellis, good footwork on the side. Both officials.
Wow.
I'm praising officials here, far be it from me, but both officials communicated well. They did their jobs, and Logan Ellis did his job, toe tapping on the sideline for a touchdown, and just another bullet by Luke Ellis over the top. Just as we had talked about with momentum, they had a 3rd down and long. They roll Ellis out, and the Saints capture every bit of the momentum with 2:02 left in the half and bring on Claire Freeland for another one. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
And it's going to make it 28-0 Saints.
Oh, the Ellis connection is if I'm a defensive back, how far do you let Luke run before you decide it's going to be a run and you start to come up?
You have to pick your poison, and right now he's making all the correct decisions, and it's so hard to defend. And I'll say, especially when you're not getting a ton of pressure from your interior lineman or keeping him contained. So right now, what you're just seeing is a kid that's able to go out and be an athlete, scan the field, think on his feet, and then his brother and Brendan Cole are just running roughshod over the secondary. But if you have that much time, it's a big ask to have guys run with the receivers that long. You can cover for 3 or 4 seconds, but he's got plenty of time, and when it's not there, he's making decisions to run, and he's chunking it that way. Hudson Moore breaks contain. Looks like he's going to go 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Hudson Moore breaks the seal for the Shorians with a kick return. That's going to be 6.
Yeah, I think if you review that, you're going to find somebody wanted to make the tackle.
You're right.
And they didn't stay in their lane.
Right away, and that was what they've done so well on every kickoff thus far. And we have an injured Saint on the play. Looks like George Zepp with a lower body. So, again, a nice job, and really something that the Shorians had to have there just in terms of momentum, with it being 28-0 and just 2 minutes left to play. A big kick return there for the Shorians, and unfortunately for the Saints, Not only did they give up the touchdown, they have an injured sophomore to boot. Not that injuries are the perfect sequitur to talk about the successes of every other athlete in the building, but the Saints JV football team, coached by Pete Fox, Parker Griefor, and Jagger Zemer, beat the Mariners last week. That was actually a really nice game, which you called on the PA. That Saints group at the freshman level certainly has a lot of nice players, and they've experienced some success in football, so looking forward to their commitment and coming up here soon with a lot of seniors on this team and making an impact in short order. So
this is a senior-laden group.
No doubt. That's why you see, George Zepp's coming off the field, sophomore. Larry Warzeniak's playing some guard. He's a freshman. You got some guys who are going to have to learn quick. Connor Shirky's been in the backfield doing a great job. But there will be spots because we have a lot of those seniors that we've mentioned as well. Namely, when we talk seniors, I think the coaches would say I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what a great job Jack Dolan's been doing this season. We mentioned him at the top. Unfortunately, he's got some injuries that he's battling through, but I know that there's some hope and optimism that he can come back, a kid that works really hard and probably deserves better than to be injured. So hope to see him back soon. Not that we want to take Larry's playing time away.
Right.
Jack certainly earned it. So Evelyn Gore lines up at kicker. Exorion Simmons is the holder. Kick is up. And good.
Good.
So just like that, we go from 28-0 to 28-7 in a matter of 9 seconds, thanks to a long kick return by Justice Hudson Moore. George Zepp did come off the field under his own power, so hopefully we can see he can shake out whatever was ailing him. Looks to be standing without much medical attention, so that seems to be good news. Coach Brian Tatman leading the special teams, getting the guys ready to go. This is the first time that the kick return team has stepped on the field tonight for the Saints. Obviously with the deferral and then the Shorians deciding to receive, and that being the first score. So Ethan White back. It's like Logan Ellis. Maybe a Connor Shirky on the far side. Looks like Evelyn Gore kicks deep for the Shorians as well. Like both teams with female kickers number 30. Picked up here by Shirky. He's going to be wrestled down at the 30-yard line where the Saints will start their 2-minute drill with 1:47 left in the half as the band prepares to take the field. So, Coach, take me through the thought process here. You got a minute 47. On one hand, you certainly don't want to turn the ball over and give up any more momentum after that kick return. On the other hand, there's that piece of you that feels like you can throw the ball to Brennan Cole or Logan Ellis whenever you want.
Yeah, I think you can. I think that also opens up Luke as a runner.
I think then it boils down to that magic trust. If you got a senior at quarterback and you want to try it, you just got to trust that he's going to make a good decision and hold on to the ball and take a sack instead of forcing something over the top.
Well, and I think if you're looking for somebody that you can trust, who knows the game and knows what to do, he's the guy.
Yeah, which is, I'd say pretty typical why you let him hold the ball on every single play. Right there, I think you're giving the ball on a jet to Ethan White. I think maybe there you're thinking if you break something and you get a big chunk play, maybe you start to wind it up and go.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Saints just kind of run the ball and run the clock and take this 21-point advantage into the half. And again, going to run the ball with Ethan White, but we get a procedural penalty. Maybe it's something about this area of the football field geographically. This is where we had trouble getting going last time as well. And then they followed it up with that big play to Brennan Cole on 1st down and 30.
You need another procedure penalty, and then you can throw the
Right,
pass.
yeah, we have to get a half the distance to the goal in order to score on this drive. The 2nd and very, very long for the Saints. Smart decision here. It's about holding on to the football. Ethan White, I believe, goes off tackle.
Yep.
It's going to be brought down there by the Shorians at about the 27-yard line. Just 50 seconds to go, 3rd and 15. And the Saints are playing the clock here. And it's hard to argue with that, being that they're behind the sticks, short on time, and they've got plenty of things to be happy about going into the half. Shorians do have 1 timeout left. I'm a little surprised they didn't take it there. But again, freshman quarterback, some injuries. Maybe they just are content to go to the half as well.
Microphones out the window so we can hear them because we don't have mics out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice run, but we got a flag down. Nearly was able to cap the 1st down. Clock is still running. They didn't stop it with the flag. We got 7 seconds here remaining in the half.
Block in the back. Offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay.
10 yards from the spot. Block in the back on the Saints. Clock is going to go, and I believe there's not going to need to be a play run for the Saints to take this into the half. They will do just that. Right now at the half, you got the Saints 28, the Shorians 7. It's been the Ellis to Ellis show to start. Lots of things to be happy about. 1 blemish on the kick return by the Shorians. But we'll kind of drop it over to the band here, so enjoy the halftime show. I'm Brad Robbins with Danny White. We will be back for the second half.
Individual spaces with their own vibe.
Well, they've got drink specials every day. Rooms upstairs if you want to stay. If you love music, hit play at the good old Murphy Inn. At the good old Murphy Inn.
Looking for a great spot to enjoy lunch or dinner with fantastic daily food and happy hour specials? Look no further than the Murphy Inn in St. Clair. This is Paul, owner of the Murphy Inn. Our charming Irish pub features different food and drink specials every day of the week, plus live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday. The inn even offers 7 unique hotel rooms complete with modern amenities, perfect for overnight stays or a weekend getaway.
There ain't no doubt we're going